It's 9:30 in the morning. Well, 9:31, but don't judge me. Well, the curtains open, and it's blocking it. Shall I close it? I think it might be an idea, mightn't it? Hang on a second. Let me close the curtain. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? It's 9:30 in the morning. Can you see over here? Some objectives. I'll show you them in just a minute. I'll show you properly. Yeah, this morning. Well, actually, first things first. Quick Patreon shout out. Thank you very much to Maurice. You are a second tier Patreon pledger person. Thank you very much for your help. You're on board there. Anybody who wants to be a patron, the link's in the description below. And I'm looking for patrons so that just generally I can make everything better here. I can get out of this dining room. I can build a proper studio in my back garden and get out of this studio, get some proper lights, get a proper microphone, get some better cameras, and just generally make everything better to look at. And yeah, and just more content as well. So check out the link in the Patreon below. And if you want to just have a discussion about how you think that I can make this better, if you don't want to be a Patreon, from as little as $1 a month. But if you don't want to and you just want to kind of help me out and give me your insights, throw some comments throw some comments down. My Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything. It's all down in the description below. So check them out. And that's my shout out to Reese. Okay, so today we're going to carry on from where I left off last night. If you're watching, if you didn't see the stream, I told you about my 2,000 point army that I'm going to be attempting to do between now or next weekend and July. And this week is all about clearing my desk, getting ready for that so that I could do a massive build. I'm going to be building everything in one go and then trying to prime it and undercoat it all in one go, the whole 2,000 points. And then we'll get into painting it a unit at a time. It would be ridiculous trying to paint it all at the same time. But that's what we're going to do. Look at yawn, sorry. The kids are back at school, which means the house is empty. I'm the only one here, which means I can really get cracking on with some stuff. And I will be live until around about 11 o'clock this morning. That's local time, of course. So why don't we just get cracking? Let's get thrown into it and we'll get on with what we're doing. So this morning, right, let me just show you these guys. Now, I did have some barrels on the way for these guys, but I don't think it's going to work out. So here we go. We've got some objective markers. They're really, really simple things, actually, to be honest with you. I picked up some ammo crates from TT Combat, and I've accrued various banners from various places. Excuse me. So, some captains, Terminators. This one's from. I think this was found in a bits box. This one somewhere. Just some random one, and then there's one from the Blood Angels Tactical Squad that we will be building next weekend. Yeah, let me just change the. I didn't realize I hadn't connected the that one. So there's that. Yeah, so this is so these are just objective markers. So basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to paint these up. Excuse me. I tell you what, I do need to remember to do today, and I realised that I didn't do this last night. I need to take my hay fever tablets. It's not going to be instant relief, but I quit smoking about a year ago and found out that I had hay fever. I was usually quite ill. I didn't realise that that's why. I just thought I was ill all the time. Right. So yeah, just a banner super glued to them. And then just the crates are stacked up in various ways and various configurations. I do have some barrels on the way, but I'm not really sure if it's worth using them. Certainly not on all of them, actually. I might stick a barrel or two, yeah, maybe one on there, one on this one. I don't think I'll do on that one, but perhaps on this one as well. Just stick a barrel on 3 of them or so, just to break it up a little bit. But we'll see what happens. But what I do need to do actually is I need to get some texturing done on here, and I am going to use a very expensive product. Let me just get it. I'll drop my mic as well. Very expensive product. Kitty litter. Yep, it's back. You've seen me use it before. It's very, very simple to do. And we'll get on with that first before we move on to painting some more dystopian war stuff. I'll get the palette open. Oh, the kids might be back at school, but it doesn't mean I'm organised yet. Right, so just pop a little bit of PVA glue in my white palette and just remind myself that it's not white paint. That will cause some issues further down the line, and that's a fairly, yeah, that's a decent brush to use. So I'm just going to grab the bases. Now we need plenty of texture on there. There's not a lot of base space left, but we need plenty of texture. So I'm not going to be worrying too much about how neat and tidy I'm going to be. One thing I am going to do though is make sure I don't get any PVA glue on the banner itself, because that would ruin the that would ruin it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is get that around there. If I get some on the crates, it's not too big of a deal, and we'll just pop that on there like so, and along there like so. Just wipe away the PVA glue off the side of the base, and then literally it's just a case of dumping it in there. Bury it up, give it a shake around. There we are. Simple as that. And then that is it. Get rid of that big chunk. Make sure you got nothing left on the side there. Get rid of that big chunk there. There we are. That's it. Oh, is it going to focus on it? Yeah, there we go. Just a nice bit of texture going on there. Bit of rubble, bit of rock. Whatever it's going to look like. I think I'll be painting these muddy. So there we go. And that's that. I won't be getting on with this today though. I thought I'd just show you those. I'll get on with the rest of those later. Actually, one thing I did forget to do, I didn't prime that base. That could be a problem. I knew there was something I forgot. That's why I wasn't going to do it. I need to get some primer down on these bases, so that could end up just peeling off. So I'll get on with those later. But that's that. There we go. Some objective markers, which is nice. But this morning, if you missed the stream last night, we were getting on with some of these boats. We were getting on with the metallics. I was pointing out the fact that the boats are not taking anywhere near as long as last week's boat week, which kind of didn't really take off. But we had some fun getting those things done, and there was a lot of them. And this week we have a few more boats. Not quite as it's not going to be quite as difficult to get these done within the week, but I certainly still don't have the time to rest on my laurels and just take it easy. Yeah, they need doing, and we do need to get cracking on with them. So that's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to get cracking on with these guys. We got that far. We got as far as doing the bronze color, or what I'm calling bronze. So this morning we're just going to carry on, and we're going to get straight into it. I'm not going to give them a big wind up today. It's going to get carried straight on into them, exactly where we left off yesterday. Nice and simply. It really doesn't take much to paint these guys. They are fairly reasonable and fairly simple models. I've thoroughly enjoyed them. I was saying this yesterday. I was considering. I'm considering looking into the game actually a little bit. It's just been bought out apparently, or the company that originally did it went bust. Whatever. So it's just been brought out, or bought. The rights have been bought by a company. I can't remember. I still don't remember off the top of my head what company it is that's bought Dystopian was, but they're planning on doing some stuff for this year apparently. So we could start seeing it popping up a bit. I think it was Spartan Games that did it originally. And they went bust. I think that's the problem when you're in a market that's designed for, that's dominated by one company, and we all know what that one is. I think it becomes very difficult for you to compete, even if you're not doing the same product as the dominating company. And let's face it, we all know Games Workshop is the biggest out there, especially with the resurgence that it's had in recent, in this last year or so. It's very difficult for the other companies to kind of compete because as hobbyists, we only have a finite amount of money. So, and all of these companies are all competing for a slice of that budget that we have. And, and as much as, you might not like, you might not necessarily like 40k as a whole. But, when the majority of people around you are playing it, it becomes very difficult for you to invest in anything else. I think that's where the power of GW comes from, to be honest with you. It's so easy and so readily available to pick up a Games Workshop game. Is that if you didn't want a Games Workshop game and you wanted to play, what's it called, Beyond the Gates of Antares or something. I like sci-fi, I just don't like Games Workshop. But then you try and play something else. And unless, of course, your friends are involved with that, it becomes a point as you could buy the game, you could buy the miniatures, you can paint them up, and you spend all of your budget on this game, but you'll never use it. Because the sad fact of the matter is nobody else is interested. And that's the biggest problem, I think. It's a big problem. Right, there was something I want to do with these, and I'll do that in a bit. So it's a shame when other model companies disappear. And they just succumb to the. Well, actually, you know what? I don't know anything about Spartan Games yet. I never know. They could have just blown all their money or done a runner with. I think it was on, I was having a quick look on Kickstarter at one point, and I think Spartan Games are on there. Never know. They could have just done a runner. I have no idea. Maybe they just didn't want to be in it anymore. But it is sad to see companies go. Because, yeah, it can get a little bit boring. Even I was getting a bit bored of Games Workshop at one point. Yeah, trying to find a game that I was looking to get into a different game system, but I wasn't interested in any of the game systems my local players were into. They were into bolt action. There was a bit of bolt action going on, and there still is in my local area. But quite frank, I just didn't want to. I just didn't like the realistic, historical side of it. But that's what there is available. I mean, there's. I don't think I see people playing AOS, but again, that's Games Workshop. I see a few board games around, but I'm not a board game player. Not really. I like the miniatures and stuff. So yeah, I can definitely relate to some degree how it can be quite difficult to get involved with anything but Games Workshop. And if you think that's the difficulty on a local scale. If you're trying to run a business such as a miniatures company, you know, you need to be targeting a global scale. Just generally, the reason for that is because of how big Games Workshop is. I mean, Games Workshop is all over the globe. If you want to tap into the budget of the gamers out there, you need to be tackling a global scale as well. So that's a big job. Very big undertaking. Right. Okay, right. So those are going to be. It's going to be a lot of white and stuff on that one. Leave that at that. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to. Some of these things I've got to try and come up with a color scheme myself, and I've got to try and balance the look of the individual ship against the entire fleet. And sometimes it's fairly easy to do that, but when you've got something that's completely different, it's a bit of a task. So what we're going to do, we'll carry on with these along here. This is fairly easy to do. These tall chimney stacks, all of the chimneys have pretty much been in this bronze colour, so we can quite easily just go along and paint these knowing that they're going to match the rest of the fleet. The guns is going to be a big issue. I think we're going to do gun metal with those. And then we just need to carry on is the big one. Now the big one is one of those things I'm really not sure how I'm going to balance because of how different it is compared to everything else. So we're just going to see what happens, and we'll just pop in the colours as and when we need them. It's a very different looking boat. These are just going to match this. Again, so I'm still painting these, even though a lot of it will be covered. I'm still painting them as if they were, the same as everything else, which are these two here. Even though the look of the ships will be very, very different when we're finished. It's all just about keeping up with, making sure that everything is painted, because I can't guarantee what you can and can't see. I mean, I've dry fitted them together to give them a go, but excuse me, I think they would be white. Yeah, I think most of that would be white. So we're moving on to this. And we're just gonna chimney stacks, of course, in bronze. I do apologise if you can hear my washing machine. I don't know if you can hear that. There's some washing. So I'm just going to pop on that down there. Yeah, I just think a lot of this will be white, to be honest with you. I can just pop in down here. And there's tin down in here. I think the big ball thing is going to be silver. I think that'd be better in, I say silver, gunmetal. Grey. Yeah. And then we'll just have a look at some of this along here. And again, there's really not a lot. You can see, I'll just pick out some of these areas. I do want to pick out something, I do like to make sure that every piece has got some of these colours. It's all about tying it in at the end of the day. Making sure that you just pick out some of the details in this colour. What's going on? Oh, and we got some steps leading down. Kind of pick them out. Mess with the rest of the ship. Paint that that's nice and at the front. Like this. So just like that. Right. Oh, actually, no, they will. That will be better in silver. Yeah, I think that would be it. I wonder about the. They'll probably be better in gunmetal as well. Most of that would be white, I reckon. Okay, okay, right, yeah, that's that. And then there was something I did want to just pick out. That's to do with these, and again, it's all about mirroring the rest of the fleet. These little pipes here going on. Most of the other pipes on the ships are in this brass, and there's no brass on the this piece at the minute anyway. I'll just put that onto there, like so. Just ties in into the rest of the fleet. On both of these. And all that's just going to do is just going to add a bit of symmetry to the fleet as a whole. I'm very tired, right? Open a can of Monster. Okay. So now we're moving on to the white. I'm going to do a different brush now. And a much smaller brush, as well as my big one. What we're going to move on to now is if the paint is still usable, it should be. I'm just adding a drop of water into the palette, into the paint, mix it up a bit. Should be fine. Grab. And this is where you see these pieces just transform from being this really dark colors into something almost is very different. I'm surprised. Yeah, it surprises me just how much this white changes the feel of these boats. almost like magic. Everything's buzzing away now. Right. See it changing almost in front of you. It just becomes something. It just looks entirely different. Just do the whole side of this thing. One thing I'm not too worried about is the fact that this is basically plain white, straight up white going straight over black, and it's not coming out very well. And I'm not too fussed about that, and neither's the client, because once it gets washed over, it turns it grey again. Anyway, it's more like a very kind of dingy, kind of grey and dirty paintwork kind of look, which is good. It's got a fantastic feel to the piece. And then right at the end, I go around with the white again around all the edges where we just done at the top there, and just kind of give it a highlight, and that just changes it again. And the white looks white around the edges there, leaving the dingy black, kind of dingy grey kind of feel intact at the end. It looks pretty good. It has a very unique look to it. There's that. Do the same thing for the boat. sure I'll concentrate on these. Try not to have to go around as much as I did on the other boats. I did have to go around and tidy up this white. I did spend a bit of time having to do that. A little bit of time I didn't really want to be spending on them. I'm trying to have a look at this boat. I'll make sure I do it right. Something else I said yesterday is just making sure that I match the client's boats that he's already got. I don't know what his thought process was when he was painting some of these colours, and I don't know the game either. So some of these colours could be important, or some of the colour placement. I don't know. So the client's asked me to match the colours with what he's done, so that's what I need to do, whether I agree with the colours or not, within reason. What else am I going to do? I'm going to do along here. Oops. And then the front of this. Goes around the back as well. concentrating going on. There we go. And then we go around the top as well. Still got a bit of white on the wood effects there. Need to cover that back up. And on there as well, actually. We've dull up the water on the end of the brush there. You can see that alright. So I'm trying to soak some of that up. So we've got a nice big brush. Just touch that. Just soak it away. Yeah. We'll try that brown again. A bit messy down there. We'll just let that dry and then we'll come back and sort it out. Meanwhile, we will carry on with the white. Come on here. We need to go on here as well, don't we? Oh, I missed a bit there. Come on here. And now finally, this one anyway. Let's go around with this. Picking out this top section. Yeah. Alright, mess the roof with this white paint. Let's try and avoid that, but it appears I've done it anyway. White all over the wood, so we'll have to go back in and tidy that up. Now it's tidied up a bit. There's also this here. And then we have that one. Yep, yeah, looks same. Put that on there as well. They look virtually identical. Right. Oh. Next one up is the submarine carrier, I suppose is what would best be described. There's white paint. We have about 40 minutes of the stream left to go. And I'll be carrying on with these this afternoon, so there will be a bit of a jump. Last night I did these up to the point where I started this morning. But there'll be a bit of a jump between ending this stream and what they look like when I stream again. That's if I don't get them all done before I stream again. The next time I stream live will probably be tomorrow afternoon. Go along, catch all of these ridges, railings, whatever you want to call them. That's one side done. And let me just come down the other side now, mirroring what we've just done. And my phone's got this habit of reminding me that I took some pictures and put some in albums and little videos, things that I've taken pictures of. I was like, I know what I did. Oh yeah, and then the other side around the top here. What to do back here? Both sides. There we go. Let's see what we can do with this. And I think that's it for this morning, guys. We'll carry on with these another time. Oh, excuse me. We'll get on with these. I'll get on with these a bit more later this afternoon. And if there's anything left, you can catch me again live streaming tomorrow afternoon from around about 1 p.m. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Links are in the description. Leave me a comment. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and you'll be able to see me every time I pop up. Hit the bell button and you'll get a notification. All right. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. All right.